in the early 1900s through the mid-century, increased mobility for Chinese Americans in the South because of living in a black-white order, right, a segregated order, living under Jim Crow. They were offered certain inducements to come closer to whiteness if they would repudiate black people, and they did that in very stark ways. For example, this is covered in the book and the film. The book Mississippi Chinese and the film was called Mississippi Triangle. And many of the Chinese grocers who lived in the Mississippi Delta, for example, in the 1920s, by the way, this is the community that gave rise to the Supreme Court case Gong Lam v. Rice, where Chinese Americans challenged the placement of their children in so-called colored schools, and because they wanted to be able to go to school with whites. And their argument, very dramatically, was we Chinese people, being pure Chinese, deserve protection from the contamination of blackness as much as you white students do. That's why we should be able to go to school with white students. So they failed, but they sort of subverted the decision in the Supreme Court by just saying we refuse to go to school with black children, so we're going to form our own schools or go to religious schools, etc. Okay, so this was the community that gave rise to that case. And many of the grocers had married black women and had children who were biracial. And the white school boards, the white leaders in the town were quite explicit in the Mississippi Delta. They said, if you repudiate your black kin, we will allow you to come closer to whiteness. And that's what many of them did. Not all of them, but many of them did. And this was why they experienced, the Chinese American community in the Delta, significant social mobility, like up through World War II and just past.
Your people don't want you to be seen with me.
Why do you think that?
The way you act, your attitude.
See, my people, they think that blacks shouldn't belong with Chinese people. My people want me to marry some of my own color so that, we have our own color because of the blood. Shouldn't mix the blood up. I don't have anything against you. I don't have anything against any color. And I was raised around black people. I'm not going to turn against black people because my people told me not to. I have my own life to live.
Blacks in the South have such a low social status that you simply can't be seen in public with them and still expect to have any respect. I would say that my parents never did find out about my dating whites because, we never moved in the same circles as my parents or my parents' friends.
Interracial marriage is when a person, interracial marriage is when two different nationalities are combined, when two different, I don't think that they will marry black, my children. Personally, I think that Chinese people tend to, you put me on the spot.
Hey, Shalom, Akim, Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders, the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in the gospel, broad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. Real quick, this is a lesson through the Spirit. Hold on 1 second. Just kind of looking up something real quick. I never really looked up where Chinese got their name from. It's kind of interesting. But anyway, this was a video that one of the brothers had uploaded about Moab, how that they had to denounce their black counterparts. she said some big fancy word like remediate or something like that. It means to kind of denounce or redact. Basically, they had to say the hell with Jake because, you know, they wanted the embetterments of society because, believe it or not, you know, a lot of them so-called Moabites, a lot of them are Jakes. Like a lot of them that came over here and built them railroads right along with the Irish and the natives. A lot of them are actually Jakes, man. Like a lot of Vietnamese, a lot of Cambodians, a lot of people from Thailand, you know, they got that dark hue to them. A lot of Filipinos are Israelites as well, okay? And a lot of times they're separated from their own particular Moabite kind because they have Negro blood in them. You see what I'm saying? Like if you look up King David's grandmother, she was a Moabite, okay? So we always had so-called interracial marriages, which technically nobody is mixed. You were the seed of your father, but Jake always laid with different women because that's our right as Israelite men. Now you have the social construct in place that you shouldn't deal with anybody outside your race, and I mean that's true to an extent when it comes to the women, because the women they supposed to date strictly within their race. In our nation, you see, even the other nations, they women try to stay to their particular cultures, but usually, man, you know, you deal with an Israelite man that's kind of open as far as the men, because the men is able to have concubines, but he's not supposed to marry the other nations, but he can take them as lesser wives or women or however he deems necessary. But overall, the Moabites, man, they really have a total disdain for you Israelites, okay? They hate Jake and they look down on you, man. And the reason being is because, for one thing, first and foremost, we are under the curses. Okay, the scriptures tell you, and we'll put the precept, that we should be a byword among all the nations. So when Moab see you Israelites, at the end of the day, they see you as a bunch of just buffoonish, childish, aggressive behavior type, stereotypical gangbangers, man. Like they got that skit on Don't Be a Menace when she was like, hurry up and buy. And she was in the freezer with the popsicles in her mouth. That was a straight up low blow to Jake, because that's really how they feel about you. Not knowing that they're lesser than you, you know, because you Moabites, man, you brought through the fact of incest, okay? You're not even smart for real, you know? You're not intelligent than a so-called black man, because to be honest with you, what have you invented? You know, and you go to school goddamn 10 days a week. So it makes sense that, you know, you will be allegedly technically advanced in certain things, but you're really not. Because the reason why you know, they say that you're smart because you go to school all damn day. And on top of that, you'll learn things in the Asian curriculum a lot earlier than what they do in the West. Like you'll have a Moabite that's 5-6 years old learning trigonometry. And I mean, honestly, that's a smart thing. You know why? Because the younger you are, the more receptive you are to things. Like when you teach a kid, that's why the scriptures say, train up a child in the way he should go, and he should not depart from it. When you're teaching kids fluent Hebrew at the age of 4 years old, that kid, by the time he's 6, 7, he will be speaking that language fluently. But see, we wasn't grown up that way. Okay, we were brought up in the public school system, which was totally set up to destroy the minds of Israelites, man. Okay, you have to understand that our people, due to the curses, were at a total disadvantage. There was no particular hope or any type of helping hand to get us out of any particular situation, meaning that we had the handicap settings all the way down to 0. It's like when you playing a video game with your little brother and you really don't want him to play, and you want to play a Street Fighter game with you. What you do is you take his handicap and you put it to 0. So one punch, you kill him. But yet it takes him forever to beat the hell out of you. And that's the kind of construct we were up against. We were put in ghettos and slums. Okay, Italians were, Irish were, some Moabites were. Okay, but those 9 times out of 10 were Israelites. But regardless of it, we was given the worst foods. We were put in the worst predicaments. Okay, and Jake adapted to that and became a product of their environment. Okay, now on the flip side, I don't blame other nations for not wanting to be around you tribes, man. Because now we have the truth. You refuse to get back right. So it's no excuse of you being wicked anymore. You see what I'm saying? Like, you still got gay bacon Jake. You still got Jake's that's in the streets. You still got adultery. All these particular things. So that's just no excuse in that. But for you Moabites to think that you're better than a common Negro, you're completely out of your mind. Okay, you are no. They say the term, everybody want to be a nigga until it's time to be a nigga. And that's why Bruce Lee had so much hell and so much hatred against his alleged own community. Because Bruce Lee was teaching Jakes, man, the martial arts. He was like, wait a minute, if I can't open my school to all people, which proves he's an Israelite because Jake want to accept every damn body. But which proves he was a Jake. His best friends were pretty much Israelites. Like him and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar were pretty much close. They were like neck and neck. Chuck Norris, okay, they speculate he could be an Israelite. I'm not sure. But you notice that a lot of Bruce Lee's friends were multi-racial, or they were from different ethnicities. They wasn't even Moabites. You see what I'm saying? And Bruce Lee caught a lot of hell from the Chinese community because he wanted to teach people of color. You see, and the average Moabite don't want to have nothing to do with you. You know, not knowing that they've been set up by the Esau Edom to oppress us, man. So all those hair weave and fingernail shops you got, your Chinese restaurant, you selling the poison food to the people. You think you got that because you were just so smart? No, Esau set you up with visa statuses, gave you loans, and you lived here tax-free for X amount of years. So, of course, it's easy to flex on Jake and say, well, yeah, I'm setting up a business. You ain't. Well, you've gotten the care package. You've gotten the care package for dummies on how to oppress a Negro one-on-one. That's so you're not better, man. Especially in your own country, you under a heavy root of communism. You can't even, if you curse a teacher out in China, you will get the death penalty, man, because teachers over there are highly revered. You see what I'm saying? They're highly esteemed. You need permission to go to the damn bathroom, man. So in your own country, you're a slave. So for you to look down on the Israelites like we're the problem, but yet, you know, you want our body types, you want our talent, you want our looks, you know what I'm saying? You want our finance, you want our tenacity, you want everything that comes with the beauty of an Israelite. But when it comes to dealing with the afflictions, you don't care to deal with that. But it's all good because you Moabites, you just as worse as the so-called white man. If anything, you think you are Edomites, okay? You think you are Edomites, and the so-called white man don't want nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying? You should learn from that, from the time of the opiate crisis, and when basically the province of Shanghai and Hong Kong was put in captivity by the British. Look that up, you know? And a lot of them think you stupid, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that history, if you was to bring that history down to Moab, they'd be surprised you know that because, like I said, they think you're stupid. Okay, when reality of it is, they're the ones that's beneath you. Okay, Moabites are not smart as everybody think they are. They just go to school all damn day and they learn what they learn at a young age. That's it. Same thing with anybody else. So get out of here with that. But anyway, this is the book of 1 Kings 1 and 9. Let's start at verses. Let's start at 4. It says, and if thou wilt walk before me as David thy father walked, in integrity of heart and in uprightness, to do according to all that I have commanded thee, and will keep my statutes and judgments, then I will establish the throne of thy kingdom upon Israel forever, man. Okay, so you got to understand, when the Lord told that to Solomon, that he was going to set up the kingdom of David, or the tabernacle of David, and he was going to rule over it. But foreshadowing when Yahweh comes to restore all things into Israel, okay, that was that throne of David that was given it to Yahweh, man. Okay, and Yahweh is going to sit upon the throne of David. Okay, because Yahweh is Solomon in the reincarnation. But David is going to take his rightful place as king over Israel as well. So when we get back in our power and when the Lord actually blesses us again, then you other nations are going to come bowing down. You're going to be sorrowful for what the hell you've done to the people, for our people. Because, hey, we're gonna show you all your wickedness. Like, we're going to be able to see everything that was said, everything, all types of tactics that was done towards our people that we don't even have light of. That's why when we get this devil in captivity, we're going to put holy hell on him, because, hey, there's things that's behind the curtain right now that the Most High ain't even allowing us to see. See, it's the things you don't see That's the most offensive. See, the things we see about racial injustices, slavery, systematic design to put Jake in ghettos, that's all, I mean, that's bad. Don't get it twisted. But it's deeper wickedness than that that's being conspired against the children of Israel that we don't even know about. And that's what the Most High is going to let us see. And then we're going to be like, oh, wow. The whole time. Okay. And it says, and I will establish the throne of thy kingdom upon Israel forever, as I promised to David thy father, saying, there should not fail thee a man upon the throne of Israel. Okay. And when Yahweh Shai comes to reclaim this earth and set up his people, hey, that's when peace and prosperity is going to reign for all the Israelites. And you heathens, you're going to have to serve your slavery. And it says here, but if ye should at all turn from following me, ye or your children, and will not keep my commandments and my statutes, which I have set before you, but go and serve other gods and worship them, which, Jake, we've done. It says, then I will cut off Israel out of the land which I have given them in this house, and I will which I have hallowed my name, and I will cast out, it says, and I will cast out of my sight, and Israel should be a proverb and a byword among all people. Okay, so this is the reason why the other nations look down on you. Okay, this is the reason why they want nothing to do with us. This is the reason why when we go and spend money with her, they'll take our money, but they don't want nothing to do with us. You see what I'm saying? You know, they make these shoes for 25 cents a pop, but they come to America and sell them for 200% more. You see, like these Jordans and Timberlands and stuff that Jake like to wear. Moab is in a sweatshop making those, and a lot of them are actually Jake's making those for pennies on a dollar. Okay, in sweatshops, building iPhones, building Android phones, building PlayStation 4s and stuff like that. They doing that stuff for the cheap labor, slave labor, cheap labor. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them are Jake's, but, you know, they come over here and act high-minded. Well, get out of my store. No, you cunts up here. I don't like you, nigga. No. You fucking demon. You fucking gooks, man. I can't stand you. Honestly, I never liked. And you know what, it's so crazy, when I was younger, I thought the Chinese woman was like the finest woman in the world, but I was stupid and young. That comes from being broken down as a nation. When you look at another nation as beautiful than your own, that's a problem. All right, now when I look at Chinese women, man, I despise them as much as I despise the Edomite women. You know what I'm saying? Would you pop them? Yeah, what man won't pop a damn woman? But regardless of it, I don't like their spirit. I can't stand the sight of Moabite women. They just irk me, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's no offense to the Moabites that are Israelites, but regardless, I just don't like Moab. You know what I'm saying? Just like they don't like us, we don't like them. All right? Like I said, seeing the sight of a goot woman, I'd rather deal with Ammon before I deal with Moab. And that's just real talk. And Moab and Ammon is a bunch of damn demons, but regardless of it is, Ammon have more of a acceptable notion to Jake. There's a lot of them Ammonites are Jakes too, man. Okay, like in you Moabites, you claim more to Esau. It's kind of like the contrast of Mexicans and Puerto Ricans, man. Mexicans are they love Esau. Puerto Ricans, they love him too, but you deal with Puerto Ricans is more susceptible to deal with Jake than them damn bonehead ass Issacharites, man. You Issacharites are the worst too. But anyway, it says here, in this house, matter of fact, it says, and I will cut off Israel out of the land which I've given them, in his house which I have hallowed for my name, when I cast out of my sight, Israel should be a proverb and a byword among all people. In this house which is high, every one that passeth by it shall be astonished. Okay, this is why they call us the niggas, the spics, the tontos, Mexicans, wetbacks. Okay, call us jungle bunnies. You know, all types of names for you Israelites. You know, calling you stupid, calling you slow, you dirty. You know, saying you smell funny, nappy-headed, peasy-headed. And then the crazy part about it is, you niggas, you live up to it. You live up to all of the biracial stereotypes. You live up to that shit. So at the end of the day, you can't even be mad at it. You know what I'm saying? Because you actually live up to being a nigga. Like I was watching this little video earlier. It was two niggas and a Edomite old woman. They was rolling up a joint. I guess they call it like a loud pack or something. They were rolling up a blunt. And then the nigga was on live. It was like a video I seen. And the nigga was like on the internet. And, you know, he talking shit. And then the old grandmother pulled out a goddamn, like, she pulled out a fucking banger, a gun. Had a beam on, had a blue beam on it. And Jake like, yeah, we gonna kill a nigga. So it's just like, when you see that type of behavior, then it's like, okay, you do fit the stereotype. You are a bunch of niggas. Okay, you don't have to play into the stereotype, but you deliberately play into it. Jake take pride on being called real niggas. Jake take pride in being called monsters or demons, man. Like all these little rap artists and stuff like that. Like this nigga YNW Melly or some shit. The nigga last name is Demons or some shit. Some little degenerate that caught a double homicide a couple years ago. You see in these record labels, they make the money off you just to get it right back. And niggas locked up now. You know what I'm saying? The YMW stands for, YNW stands for Young Nigga World. Young Nigga World Melly. Like, the fuck out of here. Then you got the FBGs. You know what I'm saying? Just the stupid, dumb shit like that is the reason why I see why nobody wants to be around you, man. I don't even want to be around my own goddamn people. I don't want to be around Jake. It's the worst thing living around your own people, man. You know, but it's like if you live around the opposition, that's a problem too. So it's just like, damn, you jacked up either way. But it says, in this house which is high, everyone that passeth by it should be astonished and shall hiss. And they shall say, why have the Lord done this to this land and to this house? And they shall answer, say, because they forsook Yahweh their power. And they're going to know the reason why we were in this type of situation, because we forsook the Lord. It says, and brought forth their fathers out of the land of Egypt, and have taken hold upon their gods, and have worshipped them and served them. Therefore have the Lord brought upon them all this evil. This is the reason why you have so-called real niggas, or YNW Mellies and all this other nonsense. This is the reason why you have guys like that. Okay, because the Most High took the glory from Israel. But guess what? That was a supernatural intervention. Ain't none you heathens did. The Most High had to take us down. He had to put us in a bad place, man, so you other nations can see it. Which shows you that we're special people unto the Lord, because, hey, the Most High is clearly not dealing with you other nations, and yet you still a bunch of damn bums. Okay, we had to have a supernatural deity to come and put us in our place, man. What the hell is wrong with you heathens? So imagine when we get put back on high, the type of glory we're going to get. People going to look like, damn, these are the people that we really look down upon. Like, we really hated these people. But it's because we're under curses right now. And those curses are getting ready to lift as we approach this end time. So this is the book of Psalms 83. And I'm going to start and say it here. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off for being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. And all these nations are in cahoots. And it's going to give you the list. It says, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are the confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab. Of Moab, which is the Chinese. All right. And the Hagarenes and Gebal and Ammon. Even the Japanese hate you Negroes, man. But I made the comparative analysis because, I mean, when you really look at as far as Asian hatred on the Israelites, you really see more of Moab than Ammon. But it says in Amalek and the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Okay. So that's the whole point. They hate you Israelites. But there will be a judgment for all you nations that come against Israel. And the fact that you nations, mainly you Moabites, you want to be in bed with Esau, Edom, this is what the Bible says about you. Okay, this is the book of 2nd Esdras 6:15, and I'm gonna start at verses. Let's start at verses. 46. It says, and thou, Asia, thou art partaker of the hope of Babylon, and art the glory of our person. Now, every time you see a badass Moabite woman, she's with the most Bill Gates looking dude. She's with an Edomite that has no type of sauce, no flavor, no swag, no game. Okay, he has no type of style. He just a damn weirdo. Like he watches kiddie porn and play Roblox all day. But you'll see one of the finest looking Moabite women clinging to this guy, man. And I scratch my head. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with this picture? But then again, it's about power and status. When Moab is smart enough to know that the power is with the so-called white man. They know that. You know what I'm saying? But even when Esau goes down, the Moabite woman still going to cling to him because of her mindset she's God, and that comes from Esau enslaving them. Esau's put a stipend on them too. That's the reason why they love Esau, you know. So hey, it says, woe be unto thee, thou wretched. The Lord calls you wretched, because thou hast made thyself like unto her, and hast decked thy daughters in whoredom, that they may please and glory in thy lovers, which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee. Now, I did find out, like, all the skyscrapers. Now, if you go to, like, Dubai, Hong Kong, Shanghai, all these so-called Edomite, because all those are Edomite built. Now, majority of those skyscrapers from Dubai, Shanghai, most of them were built or designed by architects right here in the United States. Okay, with majority of them being designed right there in Chicago. I think the Dubai building, I think that was designed in Chicago. Okay, Dubai, province of saying different countries and so forth that adopt Esau's sentiment, his skyscrapers, they did that. They got the design from American architects, man, right here in Babylon. So you see what I'm saying? So hey, that shows you right there that Esau has put his footprint in the world. And it reads here, and it says, and they have decked thy daughters in whoredom, that they may please and glory in thy lovers, which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee. And thou hast followed her that has hated all her works and adventures. And the Most High hates Babylon. He hates the so-called white man. It says, therefore says the Most High, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with death and destruction. And the glory of thy power should be dried up as a flower, and the heat should arise that is sent over thee. And thou shalt be weakened as a poor woman with stripes, as one chastised with wounds, so that the mighty and lover should not be able to receive thee. So Esau is going to turn his back on you damn Chinese too, man, and you Japanese, you know. And all this is because the way you behaved yourselves towards the children of Israel. But anyway, I'm going to just end it there, giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to you. How about you? How shy? Double honors to the apostles, the elders, a great millstone, blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. And with that, shalom and a Bible.